Jimmie Johnson's going to have a new look for 2023. Of course, he is returning back to NASCAR. Has not raced in NASCAR since 2020, which was his final full-time season. Spent some time in IndyCar, spent some time doing some endurance racing as well. Well, he has decided that he wants to be back in NASCAR. This has been news for a couple of months. We've known this, but the question has been, what number is he going to be? What's his paint scheme going to look like? What are his sponsors going to be? What races is he going to run? We knew he was going to run the Daytona 500 at the time, but we didn't know much more. Was he going to get the 48 back from Hendrick Motorsports maybe? Was he going to just bump up one and be 49 because 7x7 Richard Petty's a 7-time champion, Jimmie Johnson's a 7-time champion? Is that going to be the number? Are they just going to invert the number, make him 84? Well, as you can see from this right here, yeah. Jimmie Johnson will be 84 in 2023. He will be 84. That makes it sound like he's really old. No, his car number will be number 84. This is a test paint scheme right here. This is not going to be his primary paint scheme for what he runs. We actually know what one of his sponsors is going to be for the Daytona 500, so we do have some information, and not only do we know Jimmie Johnson's number and one of his sponsors, this is a full-blown rebrand for Petty GMS. Just a couple years ago, this team was Richard Petty Motorsports, and the 43 car was all they had. They have had multiple cars in the past. Remember, think about Marco Ambrose when he was in the 9 car for them. But then they decided to go down to 1 car, and once they added the GMS, Maury Gallagher, the second owner, they decided to expand to 2 car, and last year they had Eric Jones in the 43 and Ty Dillon in the 42. They had a lot of success last year with Eric Jones. They had that win at Darlington, were top 15 in the points if it weren't for the playoffs. A very solid year for that team, a big improvement from what they've been in the past few years. This year, their expectations are high, I think, and adding Jimmie Johnson as an owner is big. Obviously, Jimmie Johnson knows about success in NASCAR. As I said, a 7-time champion, 83 wins. He has done it all in NASCAR. So this is a guy you could go to. He's never owned a Cup Series team, no, but, he is a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. As I said, he knows how to win. Bringing that winning mentality to Petty GMS, or a more recent winning mentality. Obviously Richard Petty also has those 7 championships, but they were a long time ago. My point being is that this could be a really good combination. And, people were looking at the name and thinking, oh, are they just going to do what they did over at Roush? It went from Roush Fenway Racing to RFK when Keselowski came in. Was it going to be Petty GMS Johnson or Petty Gallagher GMS Johnson Motorsports? What's it going to be? What's the team name? They have decided with something else, and it's quite the interesting name. It's going to be called the Legacy Club. But yes, there it is. I know the glare of the light's kind of blocking it. I'm testing this thing out. So this is a test run for this. It works fine with the paint scheme, but when it's an all black background, it's reflecting. So anyway, let's see if that works. That's not working. Anyways, yes, let's get back to information on the team. So I said Legacy Club earlier. I don't know why I forgot the word motor. That seemed like a pretty important one. But yeah, a unique name. As I said, we see teams named Motorsports, Racing. That's basically it. It's usually Motorsports or Racing, or sometimes team, like the Money Racing team. That's what the names usually are. So this is a new one, Motor Club. It sounds very proper, like very fancy in a sense. It sounds like, when I hear Motor Club, I would think of one of those stereotypical rich balls you go to with the bow ties and the tuxedos, and there's a butler with the weird suit, and he's got the all silver plate. That's what I think of when I hear Legacy Motor Club. But that's just me. It's not a terrible name, no. It's a unique name. That's the word I'm going to use for it. It's something, yeah. I applaud the creativity. They could have easily just thrown Jimmie Johnson's name at the end of that. But they decided to go with a full-blown rebrand, Legacy Motor Club. So I like the creativity. Good for Jimmie Johnson, Richard Petty, Maury Gallagher, that whole group for doing something creative. So they got some new logos, as you guys are seeing here. The reason why they said, we have a history of legacy, Richard Petty is a legend. He's got all this legendary status. Jimmie Johnson's also a legend. You know, it's the legacy motor club, and we're hoping to add on to that legacy with Eric Jones and Noah Gragson. So we'll see how they do, obviously. Other news, as I said, Carvana will be sponsoring Jimmie Johnson this year, at least for the Daytona 500, that is. So yeah, there is an example of what their number is going to look like in 2023. Very similar to the 48 that they had in IndyCar. They've been sponsoring him since his IndyCar days, obviously. So there you go. Well, there you go. It's got the little halo, Carvana, same font, all that. So I'm curious what the paint scheme is going to look like once we get that. But that is the news I have on Jimmie Johnson and now what is the Legacy Motor Club. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. First of all, on the number of Jimmie Johnson. What do you think? Are you excited for it? Is it going to be cool? Is it going to be weird? What are your thoughts on Jimmie Johnson in the 84? Second, I want you to tell me about what you think of the name Legacy Motor Club. Very unique name. Something we haven't seen before, at least in recent times, from what I can remember. And let me know what you think of the Carvana 84 and what that paint scheme will eventually look like. But thank you for watching. Hope you all have a great rest of your week. If there's any more news, I'll let you know. It's been a while since I made a news video. Yes, I know. But I will do my best to keep up with it. And as usual, the end of the month, we'll have a paint scheme preview kind of thing, rate some paint schemes. The 48, speaking of Jimmie Johnson's old car, is beautiful. So we'll do that at the end of the month. And then the week between the Clash and the Daytona 500, we will do our normal full season previews. So look out for that. We'll be talking about this guy. Thanks again for watching. Have a great rest of your day.